right, hi everyone. This is Joti Balani. I am founder and managing director of FreshRiver.ai. We are a conversational AI and data science consultancy. We do strategy and delivery for the Fortune 100. And I'm joined today by Jon Stine. He's the executive director of the Open Voice Network. Welcome, Jon.
Joti, thank you. It's a pleasure.
How is it going with the show?
You know, the show's fantastic. Had good expectations. They've been exceeded wonderfully. And I'm just so excited. All the people we meet, all the conversations we're having, and then the chance just to actually, you know, we've been talking for a couple of years and now we have a chance to meet. So
first time
great
in real
stuff.
life. Flesh
It's been wonderful.
Absolutely, absolutely. So talk to me a little bit about why did you even found the Open? What was the genesis for Open Voice Network?
Genesis really came from a Fortune 100 company in the States that said, and I was in the room, I had done some research for them, and they said, you know, this voice thing is going to be really important. I mean, we'll be able to talk to our constituents, our customers, our employees, our vendors, our suppliers, and they'll be able to talk to us and we'll be able to automate that, we'll be able to listen, we'll be able to learn. This is going to be very important, but well, what about the data? What about the privacy of our data and our customers' data? How is this going to, do you mean we have to do like 4 to 5 implementations, one for every platform?
Right.
Why can't voice work like the web? And that was the question on a very cold December day that people turned to me and said, well, why couldn't it? One thing led to another. The Open Voice Network was founded in June 2020.
Wow. So this is really having that vision of expecting this problem to pop up, right? And not having it as an afterthought, right? Because user trust, I think, is what's underlying, what's really the main mission. So what is the framework that you have created around interoperability, partnerships, right? Because any one company on this floor, or even outside that's not here today, cannot go it alone. What's the framework that you've created? You
know, the framework, Joti, is we, in a sense, create an open room, everyone's invited, where we all take off our company badges when we walk in. And so we are vendor neutral, we're technology neutral, and we raise the critical questions. You know, how might, or even why, might voice assistants interoperate, share dialogues? What's the value? What's the problem statement? Now, if we agree on the problem statement, if we agree on the possibilities, how might we do that? You know, could we create a very lightweight standard? Mm-hmm. And it should be mentioned that in that open room, because we have all these different companies, we want to be as lightweight as possible to, you know, do the technology that enables the basics, but doesn't get in the way of competitive differentiation.
Right.
You know, if you can do it faster, better, cheaper on top of that standard, God bless you, fantastic. We want that foundation so that we can all grow. Innovators can innovate. The industry can grow, and all boats rise. So, yeah, that's kind of the core concept, an open, neutral, safe space. Right. For all of us. Let's solve a problem together that's going to help all of us.
Absolutely. So how do you define success metrics for companies? Obviously, enterprises have to adopt a lightweight model. How do you convince them about impacting the top line, bottom line, brand value, customer experience? What sort of do you hook on to say you really should be paying attention to this?
You know, it's a journey, as every decision, as you know from your sales efforts. The first is, what's the future? What's out there?
Yeah.
Where is this going that's going to involve you? And if we kind of agree that that's out there, and we also take a look at what you're doing today, well, you know, I have to have a this, and I've got to have a that, and well, my data's being taken, or, you know, then, you know, there's some steps we can take together to begin to address this.
Right.
And we're measuring our success, first of all, on just awareness of the issues, awareness of the problems.
Right.
That voice is both a channel and a capability. That's a huge step for the voice industry.
It is.
You know,
Absolutely.
and so it's not one or the other, it's and.
It's an and.
And how do we enable that and?
Yep.
And so we're seeing step by step kind of just and it's not adoption yet, Jodi, because we're not yet there, but
it's a process.
It's
right?
a process,
Yeah.
but it's an awareness of where this is going and why it needs to go in a certain direction.
Right, I think the why is important. I think the membership, I mean, you've done an incredible job since when we first met, right?
You're kind.
And the
Thank
journey
you.
that it's taken. Talk to me about the constituents, the people who have actually flocked in, because I think the membership has just exploded. What does that look like? What's the shape of the membership that's come in?
Well,
and wants to participate?
it's been to, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's overwhelming, but we have more, last count, we have more than 220 active monthly participants.
That's phenomenal.
Across 13 nations, mostly North America and Western Europe, but we have people from China calling in on occasion. We have people from Australia calling in on occasion.
Sure.
Simply to see where's this going and can I contribute?
Yeah.
Can I contribute? So yeah, it's been very exciting in that way.
I think there's been a lot of work done on standards. I've reviewed some of those papers myself, and I think the progress is spectacular. Do you think that the engagement you're getting, because Europe has got GDPR, right, more strict laws in the US, are you seeing a differential in sort of the support and the push towards that from a global standpoint?
I think just the European perspective, because of GDPR, because of the Digital Markets Act that's out there, because of the European Data Protection Board doing a whole paper on voice, that's advanced over what is in North America, honestly.
Yeah.
And so it's raised awareness, and I think the urgency from some of our European participants, get on this. Move on this, where in the States it's, that is an issue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always in catch-up mode,
Yeah.
but there's really no teeth to it. So the White House just came out with the AI Bill of Rights, right? What's your thoughts on that relative to where data is concerned? Any thoughts on that?
We just had a panel presentation here at this great conference, and it will take a combination of industry-developed guidelines, which we're working on.
Yep.
But it will, as it is in the European Union and elsewhere, it will take some of the teeth of regulation and or legislation.
Yeah.
There's going to be a combination there. Now, we are in favor of commerce. I came from commerce. This was founded in commerce.
Right.
So we want the exchange of data. We want people to share. But we need some guidelines. We need maybe a ceiling and a floor that we can work within.
Yeah. Are you getting any support from the political side of the equation in the U.S. for this?
We've had some conversations with Washington, with various individuals, but I wouldn't say that we are, and we certainly, as a nonprofit Linux Foundation, I have to say, we don't lobby. We're not a lobbying organization, no. But we
the
provide
L word.
we provide some educational papers. Our white papers, Jodi, we share, with certain people.
I have a feeling we're going to see more acceleration because, I think the fines of some of the American companies that are operating in Europe, fines are getting bigger and bigger because of the handling of data, right? And AI and data are two sides. It's just the practices, right? You can't really disconnect. Do you feel you'll get more traction in Europe if you guys were more focused there? If you went deeper in?
I think there is, I live in Portland, Oregon. If I lived in Berlin, we might be further along simply because of the sensitivity within the EU
That's right.
to personal privacy and just the issues of data. The value of data, the importance of data. Data's the new oil. That's the cliche,
Absolutely.
right? And so I think, honestly, it's a great question. I think we would.
So the last 2 minutes, what's your vision, for the next 6 to 12 months as you dig in and you push forward with what you've seen happen? What are you pushing? Any announcements coming up? Any sneak peek?
You're giving me a softball there, Jodi. Thank you. No, this November we're planning a 2-day virtual webinar. 2 days, 2 hours each day, and we anticipate announcing the first messaging protocols, messaging specifications for interoperability. And we anticipate then a month-by-month cadence of, on top of those, incrementally adding to those protocols. This would be then for privacy. This would then be for security. This would be for managing the listening and logging on, let's say, interaction data between an organization and an individual. This would be authentication. And so we've got it lined up, did the roadmap like good little corporate citizens we are,
Absolutely.
And we're starting on that path and beating the drum.
So who should attend that, in your view? Which decision makers?
First of all, your developers. Because there's going to be a section where we're going to nerd out. Certainly, I'm not a nerd, but our nerds will nerd out, okay?
I've seen that happen too.
But then you're a content organizer, you're a content manager, you're in charge of the communication to your constituents within your organization. And we're going to take time to talk why this is important, what it means to you, and why this is in business value. This is significant, as opposed to just a technology nice to have.
So which C-level's agenda does this fall under?
It immediately fits under the CIO. CDO, CIO, if you have developers and tech people who are dealing with AI, data and voice and whatever, chatbots, whatever form, yeah, you got to be there. The other is the CMOs.
Oh, okay.
Chief Innovation Officers. Because you're trying to reach your constituents.
Right.
You're, those responsible for customer service. If that falls under the CMO or that falls into somewhere else within the organization. But it's those who are seeking to communicate. This will be a tool for that. How can we do this most effectively, smarter, protecting,
right,
respecting, yeah.
Getting ahead of the problems.
Getting ahead of the problems, absolutely.
Jon, thank you. It's
Joti,
been a pleasure as always.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Take care.
Thank you.